Serving Nigerian Senator, Prince Chinedu Munir Nwoko, well known as Ned Nwoko, has been accused of sending policemen to arrest his in-laws, after his fourth wife and a popular Nollywood super actress, Regina Daniels, ran out of the matrimonial home over alleged domestic violence, intimidation, oppressions and maltreatment like a nobody in the senator's house. The Serving Nigeria Senator, Ned Nwoko, accused the absconded wife, Regina Daniels, of substance abuse, denying her allegations of domestic violence, adding, he made efforts to stop her addict of substance abuse, hence the wife, Regina Daniels, became violent and she started assaulting the domestic staff and destroying properties in the house, according to Ned Nwoko in a statement he had issued less than 48 hours after the star actress ran away from her matrimonial home in October last month. While I took Moon to the hospital, a scene of chaos unfolded at home, orchestrated by Sammy, Regina's main drug supplier. Another known supplier of drugs to Regina is the tiny evil devil called Anne. In a swift reaction to the arrest of his son and Regina Daniels' brother yesterday, Rita Daniels, the mother-in-law, accused the Serving Nigeria Senator, Ned Nwoko, of trying to bite the finger that fed him, saying, Ned Nwoko married her daughter because she was a popular actress, and the senator needed the high star of her status to boost his fallen star or his political relevance in the Nigeria politics, saying, the senator will go down for arresting her children, adding that, people should take a look at Ned Nwoko's children, if any of them looked like from a billionaire father, although, the actual numbers of the in-laws arrested is yet to be officially stated, as one of the Regina Daniels sisters, initially said to be arrested alongside with the brother, was seen outside the police station in Lagos State on Monday night in a video made available online by Regina Daniels' family. Verbatim, Regina Daniels' mother, Rita Daniels, while she was being video recorded and screaming with a very loud, painful voice in front of the police station at night yesterday, said, "You married my daughter because you wanted someone with high star to boost your fallen star. If you think you can bite the finger that fed you, you'll go down. Regina gave you $50,000 to support your election. All my resources also went into that same election. You are mad." Nigeria media reported that the arrests came days after actress Regina Daniels allegedly filed for divorce, accusing him of domestic violence. Calling out the senator amid the marital crisis on Monday, Regina disclosed that her elder brother and sister had been arrested. While appealing to the general public for urgent help, the 24-year-old, in a series of posts on her Instagram page, attributed her siblings' arrest and detention to an alleged attempt by her husband to force her into a rehabilitation center. "Someone please, help me. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I never thought I would do this, but my big brother and big sister have been arrested. My baby sister might be arrested as well until I return and, according to him, return to rehab. Don't even get me started on telling the world what you did to me with your stupid rehab talk," Daniels wrote. "You said, fellow contestants in the last concluded presidential election in Nigeria and Anambra State, former Governor Peter Obi has said that the current president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government lacks the passion to stop the unwarranted killing of people in manners of criminal acts including terrorism, stressing that, while the insecurity did not start with the present government, what is most unfortunate is the lack and absence of competence, commitment, prudent use of resources, patriotism and passion on the part of APC-led government leaders to effectively govern, galvanize and lead Nigeria where no one is unwarrantedly oppressed and killed, a nation where peace, truth and justice reign." This, Peter Obi stated via his social media accounts on Monday evening in response to the United States. U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans to launch U.S. military action in Nigeria to wipe out terrorists killing Christians in the West Africa country. According to Peter Obi, the recent pronouncement by the U.S. government declaring Nigeria a country of particular concern, CPC, and indicating possible military action should give every well-meaning Nigerian serious concern. There is no doubt that Nigeria is experiencing an unprecedented level of insecurity with attendant carnage and the most shocking loss of lives and property. According to Amnesty International, over 10,000 people have been killed in Nigeria since May 2023, and as I have repeatedly lamented, the unwarranted and unprovoked killing of Nigerians is most condemnable, and all efforts must be made to bring it to a stop. It is equally important to state that the terrible situation is significantly avoidable with competent leadership and governance. While the insecurity did not start with the present government, what is most unfortunate is the lack and absence of competence, commitment, prudent use of resources, patriotism and passion on the part of APC-led government leaders to effectively govern, galvanize and lead Nigeria where no one is unwarrantedly oppressed and killed, a nation where peace, truth and justice reign. As democracies, Nigeria and the US have long been strategic partners committed to regional peace and security. That relationship should not falter. The present situation calls for constructive diplomatic and any other plausible engagement by both nations aimed at addressing the prevailing and disturbing security concerns. Both countries must work in concert and expeditiously towards that purpose. Peter Obi had earlier on October 28, 2025 condemned the Nigeria government over rising criminal acts in drug abuse-related crimes, saying, "When criminals can now use the country logistics companies to distribute narcotics across the country, it shows how weak the government institutions in Nigeria have become." The recent revelation that drug traffickers have infiltrated Nigeria's courier and delivery services sector is worrisome and another sad reminder of how deep our national decay has become. When criminal networks can now use logistics companies to distribute narcotics across the country, it shows how weak our institutions and relevant monitoring systems are. The Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Barrister Jefferson Uwoghiren, a human rights lawyer and a political activist, has said, "Nothing wrong if it takes the intervention of the United States, US President Donald Trump to end the raging fires of insecurity, institutional wickedness and terrorism in Nigeria." The legal practitioner stated this in numbers of posts he published through his personal social media platform since President Donald Trump announced U.S. intention to launch military action in Nigeria to wipe out terrorists killing Christians in the West Africa country, saying, "If America's saber-rattling military threat is the dirty water needed to flush this country clean, or quench the raging fires of institutional wickedness, insecurity, and terrorism, so be it." According to Barrister Jefferson Uwoghiren, dirty water they quench fire. Nobody, yes nobody deserves to die in the hands of terrorists. If it takes Trump's intervention to wake up disgraceful governments to act swiftly, vigorously, patriotically, and responsibly, so be it. The primary business of government is the safety and protection of the lives and properties of citizens, whether Christians or Muslims. If America's saber-rattling is the dirty water needed to flush this country clean, or quench the raging fires of institutional wickedness, insecurity, and terrorism, so be it. Now government way serious, citizens day loyal for, a country of concern to disgraced country. How did we get here? This is the lowest of lows in Nigeria-America relations. A country we ditched the UK for and adopted its system of government. Practically everything. This is not really about Trump. It's more about how we treat crime, punishment, and our bogus criminal justice system. The government has surrounded itself with fawning nincompoop and incompetent advisors who see national security only through narrow tribal prisms and ritualism, adept at creating enemies for the government instead of friends. No attempt at conciliative politics or national unity. Almost 3 years. There are no ambassadors to major countries. Our foreign policy chiefs are torn between transactional politics of financial safe havens or alignment with non-aligned low-energy Caribbean countries. Our domestic policy leans more towards appeasement of fading potentates rather than the enforcement of nation-building rules. We can't continue this way. Either we sit down and talk, or others will do the talking to us. A collapsed or exploding Nigeria is a threat to global peace and a humongous humanitarian disaster that must be avoided at all cost. We are almost at the gate. Where's the break? We have reported that Ogun's state-born princess, Omoyele Sowore has reacted over the description of Nigeria as a disgraced country by President Donald Trump of the United States, US, saying, "The greatest contribution the United States and its allies can make at this pivotal moment is to support the genuine democratic emergence of visionary, credible, and people-centered Nigerian leaders, not the preservation of a kleptocratic status quo that has entrenched poverty, division and despair, calling on the international community for the urgent need to uphold democracy and human." Lagos State Command of the Nigeria Police Force has declared the founder and publisher of SaharaReporters news media, Omoyele Sowore, wanted for organizing protest in Lagos State, which, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, said Sowore has allegedly committed the offense of breach of public peace, and the police commissioner thereafter confirmed the arrest of 13 persons he described as vagabonds and miscreants as group of people came out on Monday morning to protest against the demolition of their settlements after their houses at the Koka and Ojulari areas of a Warrenshoki community in Kasofe local government area of Lagos State were brought down at midnight on Saturday, hours after the state government announced that it had compensated about 80 property owners on Friday, forcing some concerned citizens to condemn the government for displacing families without a clear plan for relocation and reintegration into the housing system. This, Omoyele Sowore, in an on-the-spot video statement made on Monday at the scene of the protest, said he could not come down from the vehicle because he had a privileged information that there was plans to kill him if he comes out openly during the protest. According to Sowore, the action of the police explained why President Donald Trump of the United States, US, is considering military action in Nigeria because the US president has seen weak leadership and leaders do not mean well for the people. According to the Lagos State Police Commissioner, I hereby, as the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, declare Sowore wanted. I declare him wanted for causing disturbance of public peace and an act to commit a felony by planning and putting all the plans in motion to block the third mainland bridge to cause hardship for Lagosians and other Nigerians, more especially visitors, who are transients through this end. We will not allow that. We are closing in on him. Anywhere he is, he should know that we are closing in on him. We learned that he was in a bus and being videoed. Why didn't he come down? He came down in Abuja. He should come down. Wherever he is, he should report himself to the nearest police station. We are going to arrest him, investigate him and prosecute him. The Commissioner of Police said massive deployment of police personnel had been made, not just to the third mainland bridge but also to other parts of the state, where coordinated protests are likely to hold. The police boss stressed that this location is vital to the city's economy and the well-being of commuters. We will not allow any action, peaceful or otherwise, that seeks to block the bridge and disrupt livelihoods. Any attempt to obstruct the third mainland bridge is a direct threat to public safety and national infrastructure. Anyone attempting to disturb public peace will be arrested, investigated and prosecuted. Lagos is the heartbeat of Nigeria's economy, and we cannot afford chaos here. We have arrested 13 suspects, who are vagabonds and miscreants who wanted to cause mayhem in Lagos State. Sowore, in a statement with a video attachment, said, I recorded this video at the scene of the attack on peaceful protesters by Nigeria Police Force in Lagos during today's Warrenshoki anti-demolition protest, which they handled in the usual despicable and unconscionable manner. The Ogun State-born princess, Omoyele Munir Nwoko, has reacted over the description of Nigeria as a disgraced country by President Donald Trump of the United States, US, saying, the greatest contribution the United States and its allies can make at this pivotal moment is to support the genuine democratic emergence of visionary, credible, and people-centered Nigerian leaders, not the preservation of a kleptocratic status quo that has entrenched poverty, division and despair, calling on the international community for the urgent need to uphold democracy and human dignity amid President Trump's plans to begin U.S. military actions in Nigeria to end the killing of Christians in Nigeria. While reacting to the recent remarks by President Donald Trump portraying Nigeria as a disgraced country, Princess Ola acknowledged the deep governance challenges confronting Africa's most populous nation but emphasized that Nigeria's struggle is not one of Christian-targeted conflict, but one of governance, justice, and humanity itself. The greatest contribution the United States and its allies can make at this pivotal moment is to support the genuine democratic emergence of visionary, credible, and people-centered Nigerian leaders, not the preservation of a kleptocratic status quo that has entrenched poverty, division and despair. True partnership must empower integrity and merit, not those who have rigged themselves into power through corruption and coercion. Princess Ola called for global collaboration to restore faith in governance and strengthen democratic institutions, noting that Nigeria's stability and progress are critical not only for its citizens but for Africa and the world at large. Only through principled engagement and unwavering support for democracy can Nigeria's citizens rebuild their nation in peace and dignity, free from the devastation of renewed conflict. I look forward to continued dialogue, progressive cooperation, and a shared vision for humanity, she concluded. We have reported that President Donald Trump of the United States of America has placed U.S. soldiers on red alert for possible war in Nigeria. According to President Trump, the U.S. Department of War should prepare U.S. troops for possible military action in Nigeria if the Nigerian government continued to allow the killing of Christians. The U.S. troops may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. This, President Trump issued on Saturday evening in line with Greenwich Meridian Time after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu personally signed a statement rejecting Trump's earlier claim on Friday that Christians are being targeted and killed in Nigeria, although President Bola Ahmed Tinubu disagreed with Trump, who had described the high level of insecurity in Nigeria as a religious war by Islamic terrorists against Christians, but some Nigerians quickly took to the comment section of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's post on X social media platform, and pasted a screenshot of a tweet published by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on January 29, 2014, wherein President Bola Ahmed Tinubu apparently had long accepted and agreed that the insecurity in Nigeria is possibly. President Donald Trump of the United States of America has placed U.S. soldiers on red alert for possible war in Nigeria. According to President Trump, the U.S. Department of War should prepare U.S. troops for possible military action in Nigeria if the Nigerian government continued to allow the killing of Christians. The U.S. troops may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. This, President Trump issued on Saturday evening in line with Greenwich Meridian Time after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu personally signed a statement rejecting Trump's earlier claim on Friday that Christians are being targeted and killed in Nigeria. Although President Bola Ahmed Tinubu disagreed with Trump, who had described the high level of insecurity in Nigeria as a religious war by Islamic terrorists against Christians, but some Nigerians quickly took to the comment section of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's post on X social media platform, and pasted a screenshot of a tweet published by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on January 29, 2014, wherein President Bola Ahmed Tinubu apparently had long accepted and agreed that the insecurity in Nigeria is possibly a religious war against Christians in the West Africa country. Verbatim, in the tweet, Tinubu said, "The slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls to question the competence of Jonathan, then President of Nigeria, to protect Nigerians." This old statement by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu indicated that President Donald Trump of the United States of America may not be the first person to describe the insecurity in Nigeria as a religious war against Christian communities in the West Africa country. President Trump, in his latest policy statement via his Truth social media platform on Saturday evening, said, and in quotes, that if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria, and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Warning: the Nigerian government better move fast. According to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria stands firmly as a democracy governed by constitutional guarantees of religious liberty. Since 2023, our administration has maintained an open and active engagement with Christian and Muslim leaders alike and continues to address security challenges which affect citizens across faiths and regions. The characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality, nor does it take into consideration the consistent and sincere efforts of the government to safeguard freedom of religion and beliefs for all Nigerians. Religious freedom and tolerance have been a core tenet of our collective identity and shall always remain so. Nigeria opposes religious persecution and does not encourage it. Nigeria is a country with constitutional guarantees.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.